Okay guys, welcome back. It is RacerX, and today I am actually in the 2019 Challenger Scat Pack, and I'm on my way up to look at a new daily driver. So unfortunately my daily driver is not doing me a whole lot of favors right now. It's got 208,000 miles on it, and I need something just to run around in for daily driving. And also I thought maybe I might try and find something that I could get some content on, something that you guys might enjoy seeing. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet because I haven't bought the car, but I am on my way up to look at it, and hopefully you guys will be all about it. I guess we'll find out. Also guys, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button down here in the corner, and we are off. We got the 1,000 horsepower helmet. God. Actually, it is the next day, and I've got my little Maxima right here behind me. Made a decision last night. I did get a new car. I can't wait to show you guys. Unfortunately, this is the Maxima's final journey. Sorry about the wind, guys. It is stupid windy once again here in Texas. So what do you do? But anyway, guys, we're gonna go turn the Maxima in and get the new car, and I can't wait to show you guys what we got. Guys, I made it. I'm actually at Coulee Dodge here in Arlington, Texas. And obviously, where else would I have bought a car but a Dodge store? But a little bit of a surprise, guys, it's actually not a Dodge. So you'll find out exactly what car I got here momentarily. You can see behind me, they've got a beautiful wide body red eye Challenger right here. Really, really sharp. They've got some really good looking cars here, guys. Also back here, you can see, just recently I did a review on the 50th anniversary Challenger. And as you can see, it's a Scat Pack, of course. There is the 50th anniversary. This is actually a narrow body version, but it's in that really, really pretty frostbite color, which I really like. And you can see it does have the matte hood. It's got the matte roof, of course, the matte on the spoiler and the matte on the trunk lid. So I mean, it's just decked out. So they've got some beautiful, beautiful cars. I do see another Hellcat up there, and I know they've got several others that are actually over on the other side. So they've got fantastic inventory here, guys. So it's a lot of fun to come here and look at the cars, check them out. But I think it's time for me to show you guys exactly what I got, my new daily driver. I hope you guys like it. Look who I found. It's Mrs. X and Little X. They're in the waiting room. Car's getting ready to go. Matter of fact, I've been told the car is ready, so we'll go out here and we'll reveal it. Let's go take a look. Yep, there it is. It is a Subaru WRX STI. So guys, I am a huge fan of this little car. It is a blast. Okay, check out the interior of this thing. It is really nice. I actually really like it. It's very sporty. You can see it's got the standard kind of STI red and black interior. It's got red and black. It's got the red stitching, I'm sorry, with the black leather in here on the steering wheel. You can see the 6-speed manual transmission. Of course, as I mentioned, it is a short throw. And of course, here you've got your kind of your like drive mode selector. You've got sport, and you've got sport sharp, which is really cool. I love the gauges in the car. That is super cool. And it is just a really neat place to sit. Let me actually show you guys what is going on back in the back seat just real quick. Bam, there you go. My daughter's already got her iPad in here, of course. She managed to throw that in there. A couple of YouTube goodies, but as you can see, it's got quite a nice back seat in it for a sporty, fun little car. I'm actually quite impressed with how much room there is in this thing. This one actually came pretty darn decked out from the factory, and you can tell I'm pretty excited about my little daily. It's got a sunroof in here. It does have the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system here. It's actually got a little sub that sits up there just behind the back seats, which I think is pretty cool. The trunk in it is pretty substantial. Let me show you what it looks like from the driver's seat. Okay, so from the driver's seat, you can see it is a pretty cool little place to sit. You've got the carbon fiber trim in here, a little more down here. Of course, there's your shifter with the red on it. You guys know how much I love black and red. Of course, you've got your diff selector, your drive mode selector, your e-brake is in a really nice spot. Everything on this car is just in a really good little spot. And I gotta tell you, from a visibility perspective, you can see really well out of this car. It's pretty darn cool. So I did not mention this, but this car does feature the 4-piston Brembo brakes in the front. You can see they do say STI on them. You've got 2-piston Brembos in the back. And then back here, this car actually came with a performance WRX exhaust on it, which is pretty darn cool. You don't see a lot of cars this size that are styled like this that have the quad tips on there, but this one does. And it has a nice little statement. One thing also to mention is that this car does not have the wing. It is a limited. That's the package on this STI, but you can see it doesn't have that big sweeping wing that's so pronounced on a lot of these cars. But you know what? I don't mind that, guys. I actually kind of like that it's a little more understated without that gigantic wing on it. It may be just me, who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind. But I do kind of like the styling of the car. I love the little kind of the vents here in the side. It is just a really sharp looking car. It's not overly crazy in terms of styling, but it really is cool, especially for something I'm gonna be driving every day. So the wheels on this car are pretty cool too. Obviously pretty well known on the in the WRX community. You've got the BBS wheels. They're kind of a gunmetal gray, and they are an 18-inch wheel by 8.5 wide. It's an all-wheel drive system on this car, so it's got a center diff in it, which is pretty darn neat. So the all-wheel drive system in this car is pretty sophisticated. So you get the same 4 wheels on all 4 corners. This thing really does grab and go, which is such a neat thing about the STI. Yes, it's not going to overwhelm you with power, but it also just handles the power that it has very, very well, and it puts it down very, very efficiently. Let me show you guys what's going on under the hood. So here is the star of the show. There is a lot going on under the little hood of this car. So you've got the horizontally opposed. It's an H motor, and it is a 2.5 liter turbocharged motor that puts out 305 horsepower and 290 torque is what this thing is rated. But I have to tell you, even though that doesn't sound like a huge horsepower number in a car that only weighs a little over 3,400 pounds, this thing really moves out. It is a very, very cool little car. And as I mentioned, the all-wheel drive in this car means you can leave extremely hard from a dig, and the car is going to just grab on and do what these cars are known for, and that is just rip, which is pretty darn cool. There's also some other stuff you can do from a tuning perspective, downpipes, all that. There's a lot of aftermarket support on these cars, but I just want to show you how clean the motor is on this thing. It is a very, very cool little package. So there you have it, guys. That is my new little ride. That's my little daily. There's going to be a lot more content to come on this little car. I'm still finding out a lot of the stuff that this thing does for those WRX guys out there that are very knowledgeable about these cars. You know, please forgive me. I'm still kind of figuring out everything that this little car does, because it does a lot of really cool stuff. I can't wait to push this thing to its limits, do some hard driving with it. But I will tell you, I've had a lot of fun just driving it around what little I have. You know what, speaking of that, I think it's actually time to maybe go ahead and start ripping this thing around a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that. So now aboard the Subaru WRX STI, I can tell you this car is a lot of fun to drive. It drives way, way different than like our Hemis do, right? I mean, the Hemis, especially her car, has so much of that low end punch. And the Hellcat, of course, is just an animal. It rips both low and high and every which way. But this car, I will say, you know, it's 290 pound-feet of torque, but you kind of have to get a little higher up into the RPM band before you hear, or before you actually feel, I should say, the power. But boy, when it starts to go, it really goes. This is actually a pretty quick car, and it feels like it has a lot more than 305 horsepower. It is a lot of fun to drive this little car. The seats are actually really comfortable to me. They really kind of hug you quite nicely, but the car is really, really comfortable. As I mentioned, you can see out of it really well. The back seats are definitely adequately sized. It's got a decent sized trunk in it. I mean, it really does a lot of things well, and I think it's really fun to get back into a manual car. I really, really do think I've always been a manual car guy up until the point where I got really my Hellcat. And of course, they've done so much with automatic technology in terms of the way those transmissions work, the way they can be tuned. But there's something about driving a well-sorted manual car, especially one with a turbo on it, that is just, it's so much fun, guys. It's just very rewarding. You feel very connected to the road. Of course, this one with all-wheel drive, it makes it just a blast to drive around. And since I'll be driving it daily, I will get to enjoy it frequently, which I think is pretty darn cool. But it serves every purpose. When it's raining, I don't take the Hellcat out. She doesn't like to take the Scat Pack out. And you know what? This one you can drive in inclement weather, and she knows how to drive a standard as well. I guess that's just because we're old school. Old school rules. You know how it goes. It just feels so good to actually like rip through the gears again, because obviously it's been a little while since I've owned a manual car. I've had Vets, I've had, let's see, I had a Camaro, I had a GTO, I've had all sorts of different manual cars, but getting back in a manual feels so rewarding. It won't feel rewarding in traffic, but driving it on the open road, it just feels so good. And you can literally, I mean, it's just a downshift away from just blasting off. Here we go. This little car really does move out. It's a lot of fun to drive, guys. It is, like I said, it's not a crazy amount of power, but it's enough to just have a lot of fun with, and there's something to be said for that. So how do you think this car will do against your car?
It's going to beat me off the line, but I'm going to eat it up.
So on the highway, you're confident that you can beat this car?
On the highway?
Yes.
From a 50 roll?
From a 60 roll. We'll say a 60 roll.
I'm not into my good RPMs at a 60 roll.
Why wouldn't you be?
Because I got to be in third gear at 3,000.
You can be in. You can do third gear at 60 for sure, all day. So, what do you think? You think your car would eat this?
Yeah.
She thinks her car will eat this. So guess what, guys? There may be a future video here. We'll find out. She might be right, but we're probably going to find out and do a video about it. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot more content on this car, guys. I know I've got a heavy Mopar following out there. Obviously, we've still got the Hellcat. We've still got the Scat Pack. This is just another car we can have fun with and enjoy, make content with, and something I can daily. So it's a pretty cool deal. Guys, let me know what you think about the Subaru WRX STI in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And you know what? That's about it for this one. I can't wait to bring you more. So until next time, RacerX.